He does look better, doesn't he?
Okay, this is the latest, and it's Bill Stone.
Hi, my name is Bill Stone. I'm the County Extension Director for Cooperative Extension here in Lee County, and I wanted to talk a little bit about why I joined Rotary and really how I found out about Rotary and the impact that I think it's had on me. Probably my first introduction to Rotary was in 2005 or 2006 when I was approached about a group study exchange opportunity, and I think David Spivey, a fellow Jonesboro-Rotarian, had told me about this, and I learned a little bit more about it and actually ended up applying and was accepted. And this was a Rotary trip to Scotland in 2006. So I went with 3 other GSE participants, as well as our director, Thorns Craven, who is out of the Winston-Salem area, I think the Ronaldo group, the Ronaldo club there. And I really had an amazing experience. We stayed in Scotland for about a month and went from host family to host family in different towns and communities across that country. Learned a lot about their culture, learned a lot about what Rotary was doing in Scotland, and kind of presented a lot about our lives and our careers and what we were into. And I think after I came back from that trip, I really felt not only a sense of obligation, I think, but really a sense of appreciation to what Rotary is and really the international aspect of Rotary. I started out as an honorary member because it was difficult to get to all the club meetings. A couple of years ago, transitioned into a corporate member with Minda Daughtry, who also works over with me at Cooperative Extension, currently serving as secretary. And through that, I think I've learned a lot more about the organization and the value it has. I think the networking aspect is, of course, important. Meeting some great people in our community. I think for me personally, but I just enjoy working with so many great people. I'm a strong proponent of Rotary, and I think really our club has a great future ahead of us, and I'm excited to really help this club begin to recruit and identify those that will be the next generation of Jonesboro Rotary.
And I sent Terry a closing slide, which will be added to all of our Rotarians in Action videos. We're now up to 6 or 7.
Something like that. Yeah.
And it's the full range. It's some of the seniors in the club. I don't want to pick on Jim, but he would be in my category. He was the first video, and then we had a mid-range guy with John, and we've added a lot of other ones in the meantime. But here's the idea. If you've got somebody that wants to know a little bit more about Rotary, and let's say you're going after someone in Bill Stone's age group, you grab this video, you get all the information that we've got about brochures and fast track orientation, and you send Bill out on an email to a prospective member, and this is going to, I think, add a lot more interest. So we're building up a library of it. We really appreciate the work Terry has done for us. He's been running around with a camera in his hand all the time. He'll catch you in the corner, and you're going to get to do one of these things pretty soon. So, Terry, are we ready to start the meeting?
Yes.
David, did you find a chair?
I did. Thank you very much.
We got a full house today. Terry, are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Oh, we're rolling. And Kevin, could you do our invocation, please?
Yes, sir. We'll do the Rotary prayer. Let's bow our heads, pray. Open our eyes that we may see. Open our ears that we may hear. Touch our hearts that we may love. Clear our minds that we may think. Strengthen our hands that we may work. Amen.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yes.
It's really a pleasure to start the meeting with another new member. As you know, I've been talking to Jamie about Rotary for a long, long time. Jamie Bowen's a neighbor of mine. And if you're a neighbor of mine and you're not a Rotarian, you're going to hear about Rotary. And so he finally went like this. Okay, I'll join if you stop talking about it in the pool. So and originally we were going to do an individual member club. As Jamie got a chance to talk with several of the younger folks at Sanford Contracting, they want to be a part of this too. So we now have a corporate membership. Jamie's got all the paperwork. Neil, that he can. I know you've got a lot of the information already, but Jamie has the information. And David, could I ask you to come up a second and induct Jamie? Jamie hasn't had lunch yet, so on an empty stomach, Jamie, we're going to induct you. Now, I'm sponsoring him, obviously, so I'm standing right next to him. And then let's go up in front of the stage and give Jamie all the stuff he has to carry home.
Okay. Well, Jamie, I'm David Spivey. We're glad to have you and Sanford Contractors as corporate members. This is just information. It's got a Rotary pin. It's got information about our club, more details about the specifics of the club.
And as far as the pin goes, it's on all the time, unless you're wearing a logo like this. Okay. So in my former club, we used to check pajamas. We haven't gone that far yet.
But here's your name badge, and you will be assigned a number, and it may be in your packet, but it'll be a number like just say 24 or something written on the back, and so you can easily find it in the box up there when you come in. And here is something for your office wall, certificate of membership. So let's welcome Jamie and Sanford Contractors. If you could take a moment, just tell the club a little bit about yourself, your family, and that kind of thing.
Well, I've worked in construction, civil engineering degree at NC State. Worked in Sanford for about 13 years in the construction industry. Moved down the street from Larry about 8 years ago and with my wife, and at that time 2 kids, but we built a house, and if you build it they will come, so we added another one to the house. So I have 2 sons and a daughter, 11, 9, and 6, and my wife teaches at Federal Tech, public speaking. They're teaching one class this summer at CCCC as well. So.
You want to mention about Richard and Matt? They'll be a problem probably, right?
Yeah, they both kind of overcommitted themselves. I was trying to get them here. Richard actually has just had a little baby boy, so he's not getting much sleep during the evenings anyway. So, and then of course Matt is on all kinds of other committees and everything. He's just a little overcommitted, but and I may try to get some of the other guys in the office if they can't commit to come join me.
Yeah,
So.
2 more, and we both those guys would be wonderful. And,
Right.
and if it's the fall, that's fine.
Okay.
Larry, hat and t-shirt, I forgot that.
Oh, yeah.
David, make sure we get a picture
Yeah.
with yourselves too.
This is, you have a Rotarian at Work t-shirt, so anytime we're doing a service project, packing for backpack pals or whatever, we all try to wear a t-shirt and get a group photo and everything, so wear that with pride.
Okay. And you want a picture?
Get a picture real quick, please.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Got it.
So let's welcome Jamie to the club.
At the end of the meal, you'll stand by the door and everybody will greet you and congratulate you. Okay. Now, talk about our efforts to add. They're really coming to fruition. So Today, I got Rick and Debbie's application, and Mike has submitted an application through David. The board has approved those three. All three, if I'm not mistaken, are ready to join our next meeting. We don't meet on the 5th of July, but the next meeting is on the 12th. So those three will be welcomed into our fold on the 12th of July. I don't know that we've ever had three joining at the same time. And it's wonderful. And we've got a number of others that are about to consider membership or will be joining fairly soon. We want to welcome a former Rotarian from Holly Springs who's moved all over the place, and we're lucky at Carolina Trace to have Gaith Al-Qaeda now take over as our general manager. And I talked to Gaith the other day about returning as a corporate member, and he said, well, I want to bring Amy, and Amy is our new membership director, and Amy Minutes, is that? Minutes, okay. And could I ask you two to stand up and again, could you give us a little background of where all you've been and what your plan is?
All right. My name is Gaith Al-Qadi. I've been was born in Flint, Michigan.
This goes on YouTube.
Oh.
You'll be nationwide.
Okay, my name is Gaith Al-Qadi. We left Flint, Michigan when I was 5. I did graduate from University of Houston in Texas. And after that, I started working for a company called Club Corp. At that point, it was owned by one gentleman. His name was Robert Dedman Sr. The company owned over 200 golf and country clubs. One of them was Pinehurst, and quite a few other clubs around the United States and overseas. After working with them for about 28 years, we decided to move to a member-owned club down in Hoover, Alabama, where I worked for Hoover Country Club for 5 years. Before working for Hoover, while I was with Club Corp, I worked for a club down in Holly Spring called Devil's Ridge. And I was there for 7 years as the general manager. And that's when I joined the Rotary there, the Holly Spring Rotary. And I was with them for 7 years before moving down to Hoover, Alabama. My wife Sharon and 4 kids, 3 girls and 1 boy. 3 girls, Hannah, Gabrielle, and Madeline. After having Madeline, we decided not to have any more. So we said, but when Madeline was about 8, my wife decided that, you know what, the house is too empty. Let's try one more, and God blessed us with a son. We moved from Austin, asked our company to move us to North Carolina, mainly because of the colleges. When you have 3 daughters and you know they're all gonna get married and you're gonna have to pay for their weddings, so the best way to do it is to save money on colleges here. So they all went here. Madeline finally, the last daughter went to UNC Charlotte. She graduated from there. So we saved a lot of money in college, so now we can pay for their weddings. We wanted to move back here because my oldest 2 daughters had grandchildren. And my wife and I started missing our grandchildren, Raiden and Riley, a lot. So we decided if something came around this area, we're definitely going to move here. And we got very blessed, and Carolina Trace Country Club had a general manager opening there, and I was blessed with them taking me as the general manager there. There's a lot of work to be done there, but it's a incredible facility with the only place that have 2 Robert Trent Jones golf courses, where you can come and play back-to-back golf courses in one location. It have one of the most beautiful lake, and legend have it that there is the oldest tree in North Carolina is located there. So, well, it's great to be here, and it's great to meet all of you, and hopefully I'll get to know a lot more of the folks here, because this is what it's all about. It's networking, knowing more people, and try to serve the community, because we're all in the service business.
Amy, could you say a few words, please?
Sure, absolutely. So I'm Amy Minix. I've been in the private club industry for 20 years, a little over 20 years. Started in Virginia with developer-owned courses, and I was over 3 clubs there at Smith Mountain Lake, Virginia. And then I moved to Florida with my husband. He's in the IT industry. Worked there for Club Corp, just as Gates did, but at a different club. And then moved to North Carolina to get closer to the family, but not too close, have a little buffer after having the Florida distance. And most recently I was at Highland Country Club in Fayetteville, North Carolina, before coming to Carolina Trace. I'm very excited to be at Carolina Trace. He kind of stole my thunder. We have 36 holes of championship golf, lots of amenities, and we have some work to do, but we've got a great leadership team in place, and we're going to do that. Thanks for having me.
You know, as I talked to Gates about the relationship he's got with Holly Springs, I mean, that needs to continue. And as time goes on, and believe me, he's been at our club almost 24 hours a day. He's right. There's an awful lot to do. There's a lot of things that have to come together. And so, although he's been with us for several months, I didn't want to put any pressure on coming out of the club for this kind of meeting. But times were right, so he was able to come. But he needs to be with his people that he joined Rotary with. But he could be an associate with us and do the makeups here, which is a real perfect opportunity for him. So we'll have, I hope, a primary member out of the club and 2 other associates, and Gates will be one of them. And I guarantee you, you're going to be hearing more about the things that Carolina Trace can offer our club and this community. And Gates, we are really pleased to have the excitement that you guys are bringing to Carolina Trace, and we'll bring to our club as well.
Love to be here.
Okay, thank you. You know, John and Nancy are with us again, and will be until the fall. Is that, are you going back up in September? Okay, to straighten things, the last issues or whatever, or are you selling the house?
Selling the condo.
Oh, you're gonna keep, okay, yeah, okay. Well, then you come back, and then we can put a lot of pressure on you. Okay, not that we're not putting a little pressure on you, no. We really love having you be a part of our club, and when you can, that's gonna come in. So, and you know, we've got some really, really wonderful new members that have joined. Rita, and Rita's doing, went back to work and is running cars for Enterprise all over North Carolina.
That's right. Went to the beach yesterday.
And we love having you when you can be here, and be here as often as you can. Bring one of the cars up and just, you know, have lunch with us.
I'll get that link and something else.
Okay. And Jennifer, you know, you've been very loyal ever since you joined. You haven't missed. It's wonderful. And Peggy's doing well and starts tonight.
Yes, Mamma Mia starts tonight, and she will be dancing and singing her heart out.
And she's up in Washington?
Tigard, Oregon.
Oregon.
Right outside of Portland.
Okay. So, you know, we've been on this kind of membership attendance thing, and I would like to recognize the perfect attendance folks. Almost 20% of this club has perfect attendance. A lot probably could be added to the list if we knew you were doing the makeups. But we know people are going on and seeing the videos for makeups, but they don't necessarily tell Bill or Yvonne that they've done the makeups, and it's a shame. And if there's more recognition that I need to do, you need to let me know if you're doing the makeups and you feel you've got perfect attendance. So I wondered, you know, how to acknowledge this. I've had banners made up before, we've had certificates made up before, but I think the best way to do it is give apples. So, what can be better than apples? So Van gets the first apple. And Van should get probably more than one apple because yeah, Van is now up to 45 years perfect attendance.
No, pretty close to 31.
Yeah.
This keeps me in line. I've been married 31. I've been in Rotary for 31. So I'm working on my 32nd year.
All right, sir, for bacon.
Cutting your flame and eating chicken. Thank you, Larry. Thank you a lot. Appreciate it.
The next apple is for David Spivey. David, I would say you're perfect attendance, and you know, he gets it because he goes to all these district meetings and he's all over the place on behalf of our club and Rotary. So David, we appreciate what you do for us and the fact that you represent us throughout the district. Enjoy your apple. And are you maybe about 10 years now perfect?
Probably something like that.
Okay, we're gonna give you 10.
I'm not sure. Sounds good.
Okay.
See, if you coordinate it with
Next one goes to John. John is unbelievable because well, you don't have the right badge on today because he's got a chief of staff badge.
I got
on.
2 badges in that box over
But
there.
but he's selling real estate, so he's got to wear that. But John, how can we tell you thanks enough? Well,
Thanks,
we
Larry.
will in a minute. Sit down. Okay, Terry. Terry gets an apple because he has no choice. He's got to bring the camera over. And he's made a major difference in our club. And you're not saying anything? You never come up in front of your camera and don't say anything.
Well,
That's enough.
I'm gonna take a bite out of that one.
All right, Terry. Jim Miller. Jim is all over the place representing us.
Especially
he-
Rotary.
he- He does.
Come on, Mike.
He does shelter box all over North Carolina. Well, there's some restrictions now. I think he's only going about 200 miles out. But anyway, we can't thank him enough for all the stuff that he does for us, including pots, and, which we'll get into a major giveaway later on.
Hold down, press on.
Okay. Neil. And Neil obviously does an awful lot for us. And he's probably been perfect attendance for 5 or 6 years as well.
Well, no, probably just since we started doing YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I do occasionally put a trip in there and
Yeah.
I miss one or two.
Okay, and I get one, and I think I'm up to about 26 or 27 years. Okay. Okay, the next recognition we're going to do is, Yvonne, can you come up? Because every year we do a Rotarian of the Year, and this year I said, the recognition needs to be more than just the Rotarian, because behind every good Rotarian, there's a great family. So we decided that this year we were going to do a first family recognition. And so, Yvonne, could you read? This article will be in the July newsletter, the Piedmont Rotarian, where all the clubs in this district, and actually all the clubs around the country, will have access to it. So, do you want to read it?
I will be happy.
And could you gather around her while she reads it from the family?
Come on, boys. Should we hug on her?
Yeah. Well, she's got to be able to read, John.
I know exactly.
It took me 2 days to write this thing.
My decision to join Jonesboro Rotary placed me in the company of professional men and women and their families who exemplified the same things Paul Harris desired: service above self. One Rotarian and his family stand out to me in our Jonesboro Rotary Club. Jonesboro Rotary Club and the Sanford Lee County residents are truly grateful for Rotarians John Ramsberger, his wife Tawny, and their teenage sons Wilson and Ben. They are dedicated to each other and they serve their community. They're also owners of Sanford Real Estate. John absolutely knows our community needs. John and Tawny always involve their sons and family of Rotary events to serve those needs, such as Rise Against Hunger, the Old Hunger Walks, Dodgeball for CART, which is the Coins for Alzheimer's Research,
NC Extension Center.
North Carolina Extension Center, thank you.
You're welcome.
The Pollinator Project, and the Sanford Block Party. John often chairs the annual weekend party with Jonesboro Rotary Club Rotarians and joining over 300 community neighbors and friends to clean various neighborhood yards, plant flowers and trees, and repair and paint exteriors of homes in several blocks in Sanford. The Ramsbergers always have fun together serving others and are regular participating in our quarterly Jonesboro Rotary Family Rotary social events, such as the recent Area 10 night at the Temple Theater where we saw Beauty and the Beast, and our annual Jonesboro Rotary Club Christmas party. John leads his sons by example. He served as Jonesboro Rotary Club's president in 2004-2005. I followed in his mentoring footsteps in 2005-2006. For years, John has been Jonesboro Rotary Club's chair for our Youth Services District 4-Way Test Speech, serving as the Jonesboro Rotary Club Character Plus Mentor at J. Glenn Edwards Elementary School for the past 10 years, and packing backpack bags at CUOC as part of Jonesboro's Rush District Governor's Grant. He has also been involved in starting a Rotaract Club at Central Carolina Community College this fall. John is also Jonesboro Rotary Club's go-to guy for so many tasks. And we've even given him a Jonesboro Rotary Club Chief of Staff badge. In the Sanford Lee County community, John's contributions include being a board member with Habitat for Humanity, the Lee County Community Foundation, and our new YMCA. As member of the Sanford Chamber of Commerce, John has been Master of Ceremonies for the monthly Public Policy Luncheon for the last 10 years. For the above reasons and more, our Jonesboro Rotary Club has honored the John Ramsberger family as our JRC 2018 First Family. And we decided to share our first family with all the clubs in our district via the Piedmont Rotarian. And our founder, our Rotary Foundation person, Paul Harris, would be very proud.
When we were trying to figure out how to do this, whether to give you a plaque or something, and we decided something that goes on the wall or the desk would be better. I'm giving this to Tawny so that she can decide where to put it. But here's what we're going to present. And it says to Jonesboro Rotary First Family, the Ramsbergers, John, Ben, Wilson, Tawny, with JRC's mom, Yvonne, in the picture. And it says, always making a difference in Sanford and Lee County. And this family does. You can say a couple words if you want.
Gosh, thank you.
Yeah.
I try to be humble. I think everyone probably knows here that I do it because I love it, and I drag my boys along. And boys, I'm sorry, but I use sarcasm when I say that I don't give my boys a choice when we go out the door on a Saturday morning to do a Rotary project. And they begrudgingly come along, and then they got used to it because they didn't have a choice, so they just come anyways. And now they have fun. And what's really, really cool is that around about 12 noon when they came in the door, my Rotary friend said, "Hey, Wilson, hey, Ben, how you doing? What's up, guys?" And they heard me brag about you guys at successive meetings and all the wonderful things they're doing and what grade they're in and all that stuff. So I'm just here to say I do it organically and I do it because I want to. But thank you. It's very sweet of you to recognize us.
And your picture was in the paper again today.
It was for Habitat for Humanity, right?
Yeah.
Snuggle in closer.
Was that?
Look like you're not paying. Well done.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
And Mom Yvonne. Okay. You know, all year long, we are taken care of by the Flame staff, and this is an opportunity for us to say thank you. Not everybody on Joe's staff could be available today. There's, I think we counted 7 that we wanted to acknowledge. Joe, can you bring everybody up, please? Come on. Yeah, I'm not sure how other clubs handle it, but we've had a kind of a tradition here for several years where we say thank you one time during the year. Instead of doing tips every week, we try to do it one time during the year. And we can't thank these guys enough. It's very difficult to come up with meals that 90%, 80% of the folks are really going to want. So we see chicken a bit, but not today. Because this is a special day, we got beef. Okay, Joe, could you take this on behalf of our club and distribute it amongst everyone that's involved? And could you tell us a little bit about what you guys have to do to take care of this? Are we really tough?
It's a lot of running and setting up. They come in here, they set all these up every day. They're bringing in your plates, your glasses. I'm running through, cooking your food. It takes a whole team to do it.
Yeah, well, you do a marvelous job. Because I'm president, I get hugs.
Executive privilege. Thank you.
And on that note, I just got a note from Steve saying, we're glad you've enjoyed your meals here. And the fourth quarter, they're going to go up 50 cents. And I said, well, okay, but you know, a $12 meal for what we have served is not all that bad. And when you try to look around in the community, you can confirm that. It's really tough to put on a good spread for $12.
100%
so
correct.
We can't argue. Well, I can't. I mean, I told, when Steve presented it to me, I said I won't accept it. But, of course, we did. And we know things are always going up, and that's what happens. So anyway, Neil will change our dues from $145 to $150 in the fourth quarter to take care of the extra costs of the meals. Stevens Center. Could I ask Ron and Roger to come up, and Jim, and Jim can take it from here, because is this the last check for the charitable for this year? I think it is.
Yes. We have Character Plus is come to the front, come to the center, because you have to get to the video. But anyway, we've been trying desperately to hoodwink you to come and say thank you for all that the Stevens Center does for the community And we're glad to be supporters of the Stevens Center.
Thank you.
All right.
And get a picture of you.
Yes, get a picture.
Yeah.
Ron, you want to, Roger?
Got it.
Yeah, I just wanted to introduce, you know Roger Bailey by now, but just as one story as an introduction, Jennifer from Harnett County a couple of years ago had a family of 4 and a husband, and her husband's sister passed away. She had a 25-year-old developmentally disabled young lady that lived with them, and the family had to decide, and she was the last survivor, so they had to decide what they're going to do with the 25-year-old. She was distraught. What can we do? Can we bring her into our family? We already have 4. They went to social services. They got some minimal satisfaction. The girl had some behavioral problems. But someone finally said to her, have you talked to Roger Bailey at the Stevens Center in Sanford about what you can do to support this developmentally disabled adult? They went to Roger Bailey, and Jennifer came and spoke to us in a board a month ago, and it was just, the lights came on, and it was a great experience. They were able to bring the daughter into the home with the support of the Stevens Center, and especially the care and direct support that Roger Bailey provides them. This is one story among many every year. All of us, if you haven't been directly affected by someone that's developmentally disabled, you probably have a neighbor or relative that has. And for us to have this resource in Lee County, and especially the professional and care professionalism and care that Roger provides. So, in my mind, he's one of the finest citizens that we have in the county, and I'm really glad that he's part of the Stevens Center. Roger.
There were so many words used today that fit hand in glove with the Stevens Center. Back here when they talked about it takes a team to make things happen, it takes a community to make things happen, it takes a family to make things happen. I want to thank you all, because while people will say, look at what the Stevens Center has done, I am very well aware the Stevens Center only does what it does because of the support of people like you. It's not just a $500 check. It's your willingness, when a person who has a visible disability is in the community, your willingness to be kind to them, to acknowledge them as a human being, to say hello, to offer the support that you can. And so again, I thank you all for that.
Ron, you do wonderful work for the community. Thank you so much. We'll do as much as we can to help you support. And now, I want to close with Jeff, but before Jeff, we're going to have the final drawings on pots of gold. And Jim, you want to take it from here?
You want to do the 50-50 first?
Let's do the 50-50. Hey, today we collected $68 for Polio Plus, $34 to the winner. And I'm going to ask Mr. Steck to pick out a ticket. Look at him. Look at how fair he is. He's not even looking at him. I love it. Okay. Now.
Be prepared.
Okay. Last 4 numbers are 7, 4, 5, 9. Wait a minute. Look at my tickets.
Check mine, Yvonne.
Terry.
Nope.
Terry got it.
Terry's
got it.
Terry's got it.
Terry's got it.
Terry, all right. Way to go, Terry. All right, Terry.
Okay, now it's Jim, and this is fun time. This is when we give most of it away.
Okay. You need to write up there. Document everything that happens, okay? The first thing we're going to do is, I want to mention one thing first. We went over 800, and Van had the pleasure of buying the last ticket. He thinks that's going to be successful today. But I want to recognize Larry for buying, selling, coercing 105 tickets in the community. Van has 101.
But I'm always
second to Larry.
Well, you'll have to sell more.
Next year.
Yeah, well, the four that Gates bought did it.
The sad Indians, Browns supporters got coerced 80 tickets into the community, and Mr. Gilliland distributed 69. So those were the four folks in the club who processed over 50 tickets, which was really important for us meeting our goal. The first thing we're going to do is draw last week's ticket, since that was a
non-meeting.
Family of Rotary.
Come up here, youngster. And if you pull your dad's ticket, you don't,
It's
he
gonna
doesn't
win.
get the money.
All right, I'll put it back.
All right. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Thank you.
Yeah. You pulled Jim's ticket?
Jim Miller.
Oh, come on.
831.
Thank
you. All right, now sit down. Send your
All right,
brother
Ben.
up.
He gets half. You gotta try finder's fee.
Okay, this is another one. This is the last $100 ticket. Bridget Joyce.
Oh, yeah. Bob Joyce's wife.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, now we're getting down to the real crux of all the good stuff. I have to get this one out of it. All right, the newest member of the Rotary Club, come forward here, sir. And this will be $250 item.
I'm not sure I can give you the same deal.
David Douglas, Don Douglas, 137.
That was for 250, right?
David Douglas,
Okay.
Don Douglas.
Don.
Yeah.
Maybe David's his son.
How about getting Debbie up and Rick?
Okay. Debbie.
This is another 250?
This is another 250.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Dig deep. Thank you, young lady. Sanford Real Estate.
John, that'll work.
Do I have to give her a commission?
We're helping the college fund.
Yeah, that's right.
That was just a realtor helping on y'all.
Thank you.
Collusion.
It was collusion. It was fair.
Jeff,
Define fair.
come on up. We're on another
Hey, John.
250.
Love the excitement in his voice when he pulls somebody's thing.
Oh, yeah. It was
Come on, get Bentley.
Another 250 ticket.
I got two 250s already. You're-
Okay, then this will be a
David and Carolyn Spivey.
There you go, David.
500.
Way to go.
It's ticket number 922. One more 500 ticket. All right, Mr. Ramsberger, you might as well come up here.
Want me to come up and pull?
Yes. I want you to.
We need Rick to get up there.
All right.
Do you see me turning my head away?
Rick says no.
Rick says no.
Rick doesn't want to be up here?
Let Larry do it.
Rick, you're not shy. Come on.
I'll go and
Let Larry do it.
get privilege.
Oh, my goodness. My son, Joe Miller.
There you go. There you go. That's 500. That's collusion.
Spin that wheel.
Well, it helps.
Spin that wheel.
It helps me buy 700.
Okay.
The ticket was very sticky when I grabbed it.
All right, the matriarch of the Rotary Club, come forward.
Yvonne.
Rotary Club Queen. Rotary Club Queen. Rotary Club Queen.
This is the $1,000 ticket. You have to dig in the bottom, dig real deep.
Bentley can have a lot of dog food. Come on, Bentley.
Don't beat him up. April Stevenson, sold by
April.
Van. So
Wow.
thank you all very, very much for your support and press on, Mr. President.
Okay.
You can see me in the back, if you're here, see me at the back of the room and I will write you a check when we're all done there.
Hey, Larry, let's give Jim a big round of applause.
You know, Jim took this task on a couple years ago because we just needed new life in it. Kevin suggested the idea, but somebody had to do the administration of it, and it's not easy. Every week, taking care of this and pushing to sell tickets. And so, Jim, once again, the club owes you a debt of gratitude. We probably have, because of Jim's efforts, somewhere around $15,000 available for our charitable giving, and we couldn't do it without Jim. I wanted to let you know, Doug is going to be joining that West St. Louis club, but we're going to send this on to, this is a gold club, just like we have our gold club for the club proper here. I had a special one made up for him, saying 2017, 2018, Rotary District 7690, JRC President Doug Doris, Gold Club, Lloyd Navarro. He did 6 or 7 months of very hard work for the club and deserves this, so we send it on to him. I couldn't send a whole banner to him, but I can send him a plaque. And we also have a pin to send on to him that we got. Is that the Paul Harris Society?
Paul Harris pin, yes.
Is it a society or it must be a society?
It's the next step up.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I didn't bring it with me.
Another emerald or whatever it is.
Emerald.
Okay,
ruby.
well, we'll send that on. I'll write him a thank you note with all this stuff. Let's see. Oh, I got a call from the foundation. Our Mexican project, which you all know is completed, is really not complete till the paperwork is done. And so it's done from the Mexican side. The foundation has to send me, because we're primary sponsors of it, has to send me stuff that I've got to sign off on, and the district has to sign off on. But folks, we just did a $400,000 water project
Fantastic.
in Mexico. Our last, but not least, is we have to say goodbye to Jeff. Everybody knows he just got promoted into Raleigh. And Jeff, can you come up here? And do you need a handkerchief? Jeff has really been a loyal member with us from his first as his bank for a number of years, and has done an awful lot for the club. We hate losing him. He's already cultivated his replacement, and hopefully on the 12th, Jeff can be here. And well, I'll let Jeff tell you the story, but Jeff, we hate to see you go.
I hate to go.
You took this 50-50 raffle and tripled it.
Yeah, I've been doing it when you're not here. I can't get it up as high as whatever, it must be your stature or something. I don't ever get them up like you do.
People look up to him. What it meant, you know, everybody knows that we give 50% to the ticket winner and 50% to Polio Plus. We contributed almost $2,000 to Polio Plus. A lot of it came from Jeff and his efforts. Jeff, tell us what you're going to be doing and whatever you can.
Absolutely. So I took on a lot more responsibilities, and through that, they offered me a position with the corporate office. I'm going to be the branch technology and project liaison. So essentially, it'll be I'll be working with 10 different departments, making sure everything on the project is running smoothly with all the technology throughout the banking centers. So it's a pretty big job, but at the same time, you know, it's a good advancement, and it's kind of what we need. My wife and I, we have 3 kids, and we're looking for different school systems, and it's so funny because we're actually looking at Devil's Ridge or 12 Oaks. There in Holly Springs is where we may end up buying a house. So that's kind of our plan is, and I'll likely end up joining one of the Rotary clubs there. You know, I'm really thankful.
There you go, Gabe.
Holly Spring Rotary.
We could trade, yeah. I really enjoy Rotary. You know, when I first came here, it's 6-7 years ago, I didn't know what Rotary was. I didn't have a clue what Rotary did. And it's really grown on me. I mean, through all the projects, people like Barry Aiken have really helped, you know, me to grow as a person and as an individual. My replacement, it's so funny because I trained her years ago and I got her a promotion to a different branch and now she's taking over my job. And I had groomed her to do this years ago. I said, when I leave, I want you to take my position. And her name's Maricela Mercias, so if you see her, go into the branch and tell her you need to make sure to come, because I won't be here to do it. But she should be here on the 12th, more than likely. I'm gonna make sure, and Debbie's gonna help me out with that, ain't it, Cardi? So take good care of her. She is a phenomenal person. She is one of the best people that I know. She is so giving, and her values fit in perfectly with what Rotary has to offer. And all she needs is just somebody to help her. So I wanted to thank each and every one of you for everything that you've done for me and the opportunities that you've given and what we've done for the community. Because realistically, it's not a community without clubs like this and people like John Ramsberger that volunteer their family's time, and Larry Aiken that will knock on your door all day, every day, trying to get you to join. That's what makes this club so special and different from any other club out there.
We're going to miss you. But one thing he said, whenever the White Elephant auction is scheduled for next year, let him know so it goes on the calendar.
That's right.
Because he's one of our best customers, buying all those white elephants. And I don't know what you do with them, but you cart a whole bunch out.
I give them away.
Well, thank you.
I like to do that.
It's been one heck of a half a year for me, half a year for Doug. I enjoy this. This stuff gets in your blood. You know, Rotary goes back from me to my father, and my dad was a loyal Rotarian for many, many years. I joined in '79 and have been pretty active ever since. That period of time we were in Europe, all I did was go to clubs all over Europe as kind of an honorary member from Pennsylvania. Coming back here was really fun because all of the other clubs that I have been in have been around 80 to 100 to 125. And you can't get to know people like you can get to know a club of 50. Now, and we put in our bylaws that, or our strategic plan, that we really don't want to grow past 75. And we probably won't, but if we maintain 50 to 55 members, and particular emphasis on folks that will replace the gray-haired guys, like Mike coming in, and Jamie coming in, and Jeremy coming in, and Bill coming in. We got a lot of great youth in our club that will follow. Oscar and Patrick have made major differences in our club too. And we've got things that we want to talk about with you guys about being on our roster as a full, not just associate, but as a Rotary. And we started the discussion, but there's an opportunity there that we might be able to bring Patrick and Oscar on as full-time Rotarians with all the benefits that come with being on the Rotary roster. Anyway, I want to thank you all for the support. I make a lot of phone calls to get people to do stuff. Nobody turns me down. Maybe it takes a couple calls, but it's a marvelous experience when you get a chance to lead a club like this. Thank you so much. The group, my wife won't believe that.
Standing ovation.
And the four-way test is going to be led by Terry, who's panning.
For the four-way test for the things we say and do.
Look at him turn around and do it.
First, is it true?
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, no meeting on the 5th, installation for Morris on the 12th.
All right.
Have a good 4th, guys.